And so this is our job, really. How do we do coaching around progesterone? So it's sharing the education, because it's not our job to tell them how to take a medication. That's the doctor's job. And so getting very clear on what's my job and what's not my job. But sharing education. So I send clients blogs. I send them information. I also encourage them to read the packet, the piece of paper in the packet of their Utrogestin, because that actually talks about the different ways that they can take it, and they can then decide what they want to do. They might want to go back and talk to their GP. They might go, I'm going to give it a go. And I go, that's entirely your prerogative. And some people say, well, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it for a month. And then if I get better on that, I'm just going to tell my GP that's what I'm doing. And I go, that's entirely up to you. Like, it's not my job to tell them to do that. It's just all I can do is offer them the education, and then they can take it up with their GP or make the decisions that they are made to do. So I'm very clear on my notes. Offered HRT education, not recommendations. We can do blood tests or Dutch tests to understand levels, shedding light on the important diet and lifestyle, because that's our first port of call. Woman's not eating enough protein. She's eating a load of wheat. She's eating a load of sugar. She's not having any water. Her body's going to be under stress. End of. Let's take the stress away.
And isn't this the situation that can happen, is that if a woman is eating a load of rubbish and super stressed and has got this whole back catalogue of issues that she's been dealing with, and then goes, okay, what I need is progesterone. It's going to be the magic bullet. I'm just going to take progesterone, and then it doesn't work. It's that understanding that we need to look at all aspects of life, which is going to give the HRT more of an opportunity to work.
Yeah.
So it's we talk about putting the scaffolding around women to make sure that they are in the best physical health they can be, so that the HRT will work.
Or they actually are then able to reduce their symptoms enough to just be getting through menopause with herbal supplements like black cohosh. I mean, we don't talk about that particularly because we're just focusing on this talk on progesterone, but there is a possibility that if a woman really wants to go through it completely naturally, then give yourself every single opportunity and put some scaffolding around your house and build some better foundations. And then, as I was saying, equipping our clients to have empowered conversations with doctors. And some doctors are great, and I really want to stress that. And there's a lot who are really struggling with women going in with information, and so it can be quite a slog. And actually, there can be quite a lot of hand holding for women to be able to get their point across.
Leave. Oh, you haven't finished yet.
Oh, me. Okay, so options for progesterone therapy. So we sort of mentioned it a bit. The synthetic, it's that pink one in the middle, I think. Synthetic progesterone, it's never an option for me. It's just, that's what's available. So that's what they could be offered. There's the body identical, which was the Utrogestin from the NHS. There are actually other options as well. There are other things, but the most common one is Utrogestin. We must start putting it in talks. There is another one now called Bijuve, which is a combination body identical pill made of progesterone and estrogen. And so it's just a one pill situation, which is quite easy. There's also apparently from some specialists, there's another type of progesterone, and I can't remember the name, I must find it, for women who are a bit sensitive to progesterone. So again, just tell them to go and ask the Utrogestin, or their doctor can then advise them on any new fangled things that are coming out that are body identical. Again, it's not really our job to know all about them, just to have an idea. There's bioidentical hormones, low dose bioidentical hormones, and these are often available from practitioners, but they are currently very hard to get in the UK due to some weird glitch with Brexit. I don't know. We're still, it's just weird.
Flag them as being, I don't know, we don't know the details, but it's now much harder to get these. You can see it in the picture, the little blue bottles. It's much harder to get it into the UK these days.
Yeah, so that's really frustrating. But there is also high dose bioidentical hormones. And to give you the difference between body identical and bioidentical, there isn't really. It's just that body identical is the stuff that the NHS approves. Bioidentical are actually specially formulated compounds available through specialist pharmacies. And the functional doctors prescribe what it is that you need based on your blood tests. Now, they work with DHEA, testosterone, pregnenolone, progesterone, and estrogen, whereas the medical model on license only works with progesterone and estrogen, and off license works with testosterone. So personally, I couldn't cope. I didn't get on well with the Utrogestan and estradiol that was available through the NHS. And so I go down the bioidentical route, which is not sanctioned by the NHS. So a lot of doctors are very, very anti it. All I know is that it's changed my life. And all I know is that for a lot of my clients where the medical model didn't work, or they had progesterone sensitivity, or they wanted stuff for, or they had really bad gut issues, or like all of these different, the really complicated cases, bioidenticals can be absolutely life changing. However, one of the barriers to accessibility is for a lot of people, because they're not regulated and sanctioned by the NHS, they're not interested, which is fine. Yeah, totally their choice. And secondly, cost. It's really expensive. And so, I mean, for me, nothing else was working. It was actually a non-choice. So at least knowing that there are options, because I didn't know that there were options. And so had someone told me, I would have probably been able to miss out about 4 years where I wasn't getting the support that I needed. So it's just good to know. And then they're actually, in your referring on module at the end of the course, we actually list people that you can refer onto. And then there are herbal supplements, like we said about chaste tree. You can also look at things like soy for estrogen, maca for estrogen. There's loads actually when it comes to HRT, and I would recommend checking out the HRT talk if you want to get more and more into the herbal aspects.